What is going on, everybody? Anthony here, back with another video. Today we're going to be replacing the carb, fuel filters, air filter on an FS94. This goes for really any of the 94s. This is how you would do it. So start off, take that air filter cover off, then remove the top shroud, and yeah, that's the first step. These shrouds are literally the worst to take on and off. I don't know why. Steel, I don't know if they use a different manufacturer. I know these are made to be like lightweight, high-powered machines, but it's kind of they're kind of annoying to put on. So, like I said, I don't know if they use a different manufacturer or they, make it less weight by making it more a flimsy shroud. But those shrouds are super annoying. So dump the old gas out. Don't ever use old gas in a new carburetor. And then we're going to be removing I put the fuel cap on so no debris goes back in there. We're going to be removing the air filter base, and I try to when I clean off the debris, like I said, make sure that fuel cap is on, and so none of that debris goes inside the tank. And yeah, so we will take off that tank vent line here in a second. It's standard protocol on how I disassemble these carburetors, or remove them and replace them. Don't forget this gasket right here. It's kind of a weird flimsy gasket, but it's one that still uses on these units. There's a top screw for the throttle cable and the kill switch cable, the harness, I guess. Make sure you take that screw out. You'll be having to reuse that screw in the new carburetor. Remove both fuel lines here. There is a left and a right, but you can see the tank has a left and a right, so just when you go to put them back on, you'll know which side they go to. Removing the throttle cable, and boom, the carburetor is already off. Very quick and easy. People always ask, why I just replace most carburetors, and carb kits these days are very expensive. Yes, you can get aftermarket or even Chinese, kits, but it's just not worth it. Like this carburetor here, I believe it's like $50, and a carb kit's $30. So you do the math. To rebuild the carburetor, we charge labor. So you're looking at labor plus the kit cost, and again, it's always just cheaper just to replace it. So slide the throttle cable in, and then just tap the screw in here into the new carburetor, and that's pretty much it for that harness. Reattach your fuel lines. Again, they are directional, so just look at the tank and you can see which goes to which, because they're side by side. Slide the old gasket back on. You can reuse almost every gasket you can reuse on equipment, as long as it showed no signs of debris getting past it, or no signs of it being torn. Put the two 8mm nuts back on. Very straightforward, very easy to do with my Milwaukee fuel. This impact driver, I love this thing. I always talk about it, but I love this thing. Milwaukee makes some great stuff. This unit here specifically uses a dual fuel filter. Some of their models did this. I don't know why, but I think this is the cause of failure here, because the fuel line wasn't even on. The fuel filters weren't even on, so it was just sucking in debris, which is not great for the machine. But there was no damage to the engine. But yeah, so this is hemostats. If you don't have those, I highly recommend it if you're in a small engine industry. They're really good for reaching into small spaces and clamping onto something, but also good for locking into place for fuel lines. So the dual filter will go on the main one to the carburetor, and then obviously you can't put this piece on backwards, so you can't mess it up from here. So this is just a dual filter, just to these machines are made to go side to side, up and down and all around, and this kind of helps that always supplying the fuel. When you put the fuel filter in, make sure the dual filter, or dual nipple filter, I guess, goes in first, and then the single filter will go in last. And I just kind of shove it back in, and pretty straightforward, very easy. I'm going to lock the anchor back in for the fuel cap, servicing it out with some canned fuel. I like using canned fuel. It's just the way to go, honestly. Not as a landscaper, but as a homeowner. But for us, it also helps warranty our work, because, like, let's say I do this carburetor replacement on this machine, and it, he doesn't use it for 2-3 months. Well, ethanol will take its toll on that carburetor and end up damaging it. So as you can see, there's these stupid flimsy housings are such a pain to put back on. Sometimes they'll just slip right on, but a lot of the time you have to fight them and force them into place. And yeah, I don't know why these units specifically have this issue, but put the 3 screws back in for the shroud, which is kind of like all steel equipment. Sometimes it's easier to take the recoil starter off too to reinstall it, but so yeah, new air filter. Then we'll put the air filter cover back on. Just make sure you don't strip this. These on these models, this screw is very easy to strip. I don't even let my impact I don't even give it the opportunity to do its thing. I just go by feel. So prime it and then start her right up, and that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you all for watching. I hope this video helps you. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. And we'll catch you guys next time.